Welcome to the John Clamp Show, episode number 20. We got conference championship game picks and previews for you, and I got my roommate and teammate Philip Jacobs making his picks as well.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, glad you can make it on the show. So the first conference championship game we're going to pick is the Big Ten 1 versus 2 matchup. It's Ohio State versus Indiana. Phil, who you got?
I think it's going to be a great game. I'm very excited. I do have Indiana winning. I think it's going to be a very tight game. I think it's going to be 27-24 Indiana. I'm just going off the fact I think Fernando Mendoza, he's older. He's got a little bit more experience. I think Julian Say might throw a pick or two this game that cost him. So I'm going with the Indiana.
I disagree. I'm going with Ohio State. Um, the quarterback of the winning team is most likely going to win the Heisman Trophy this year. Mendoza and Saban are 1 and 2 in the odds to win the Heisman right now. I think Ohio State just has a better roster overall than Indiana does. Neither team has played against a team this season that will be as good as their opponent in this game. I just think Ohio State is probably better equipped all around to handle a tough matchup like this one. Little game within the game to watch is going to be Jeremiah Smith versus D'Angelo Pons. They were high school teammates, so that's going to be a fun matchup within the game. But I have the Buckeyes winning, close one, like 30-27, something like that. Next game is the SEC championship between Georgia and Bama. College game day will be in Atlanta for this game. It's a rematch between a regular season matchup between the Tide and the Bulldogs, which Alabama ended up winning 24-21. Phil, who you got for this one?
I do think Alabama is going to win this one. I think Ty Simpson just has that it factor. I think he's maybe the best quarterback in college football. I think it's either him or Fernando, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about that, but um,
I disagree strongly.
so I do think Alabama's going to take them down. I think it's going to be another tight one. I think it's going to be a touchdown game. I think it's going to be 27-20. Give me Alabama.
I disagree with this one as well. I'm taking Georgia. Alabama already beat Georgia in the regular season. It is very difficult to beat a team twice in the same season, especially in college football. And overall, I think Georgia is a better team than Alabama is. Alabama's too one-dimensional on offense. They can't run the ball at all, which doesn't bode well for a matchup against Georgia. And lately, their passing game has uh, been inconsistent. Ty Simpson hasn't been as good as he was in the middle of the season. And I think Georgia is going to come out there and win convincingly. Not like a blowout game, but it's going to be like a 10-point game. And I like Georgia like 30-20. And Kirby Smart gets his second win against Alabama in his tenure. His first win, fun fact, was the only other time he played Alabama twice in a season. It was the second game when he won his first national championship. So I like Georgia to get the win and become the SEC champions here. Next one is the ACC championship game, and the ACC has been a wild ride this year. It's between Virginia, who's 10-2, and a 7-5 Duke team somehow made it into the ACC championship. Phil, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I think we're finally going to agree on this one.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna
probably.
I'm gonna take Virginia. I
It's a
do
good
love
pick.
what
It's a good pick.
I love what Chandler Morris does up there. I think he's a very great quarterback kind of that goes under the radar a little bit. Was formerly at UNT, made the transition to Virginia, and I really like how he plays. Honestly, he's really fun to watch. Um, I think this one's gonna be a little bit of a beating, so I'll say 38-21 Virginia over Duke.
I'm also taking Virginia. If you take Duke, it's a bold pick. Virginia is a better football team than Duke is. They beat them once already, and I did say it's hard to beat a team twice in the regular season. Virginia is way better than Duke is, and they played the first time it was a blowout. So I think Virginia can do it again. I think Virginia's going to get their auto bid into the playoffs, and I don't think it's going to be very close. Duke's offense is solid, but their defense gives up a ton of points. And like you said, Chandler Morris is a really good quarterback who's found his way at Virginia. And I like the Cavaliers to become the ACC champions in a blowout fashion, probably like 41-17 or something like that. The next one is another rematch from the regular season. The Big 12 championship features Texas Tech and BYU. Texas Tech blew out BYU earlier in the regular season. Phil, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to take Texas Tech. They're healthy, and I think Texas Tech could be a scary team in the playoffs this year. I think they could be a little bit of a sleeper. So I think BYU, this could be a good game. I just, again, you got a young freshman quarterback, and I just don't know how it's going to be under the bright lights. I think he's very good. But I'm going to go with the experienced older team. I'm going to go with Texas Tech. Um, I think this could be a 2-touchdown game. Let's go 27-14.
I'm also going to take Texas Tech. I do think it'll be closer than the first time around, but Texas Tech is one of the most complete teams in college football. Their offense puts up a bunch of points. They can control the clock, and their defense, they have the best run defense in the country. They force turnovers. First time around, Texas Tech won 29-7. I think it's going to be closer this time. I think BYU puts up a better fight, but I do think the Red Raiders are going to end up winning this game, probably 30-21, something like that. And Texas Tech is going to go on a run in the playoffs, I think. Next game is the American Championship game. We get into a couple Group of Five championship games here that have playoff implications. North Texas and Tulane battle this one out for a potential auto bid in the G5 spot. Phil, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go UNT. I love watching UNT's offense. I think they're probably one of the most fun offenses to watch in college football. I think they're going to get done pretty dominantly. I'm going to give them, let's go UNT 42. Tulane, we'll say 31. I think they're going to get the job done pretty good. So,
Yeah, I
Tulane.
like North Texas as well. Drew Mestamaker, the quarterback for North Texas, is leading the country in passing yards per game. North Texas has the number one scoring offense and number one total yards per game offense in college football this year. They're putting up points in every game. I think they've scored over 31 all 12 games this season. They're 11-1 on the year. Tulane is 10-2. Tulane's a good football team. I just don't think they match up with North Texas firepower on offense. And I have the Mean Green winning a shootout over Tulane, probably like 45-37, something in that realm. And the final conference championship game that we're picking this week is the Sun Belt Championship between James Madison and Troy. James Madison, they win this game, has the potential to get the G5 auto bid spot depending on what happens in front of them. Bill, who you got in this one?
I don't have a lot of thoughts about this game. Couldn't even name me the starting quarterback for Troy, but I'm going to say JMU. We're going to go pretty dominant
That's a
win.
good pick. It's a
Yeah,
good pick.
we're going to go 38-21 JMU.
Yeah, James Madison's a good football team. They've only lost one game this season to Louisville. That was way back earlier in the year. They're 11-1. Like I said, they're going to be extremely motivated because they have the potential to get the G5 auto bid spot in the playoffs this year. And I just don't think Troy matches up well with James Madison in this game. So I have JMU winning in dominant fashion, 45-13 over the Troy Trojans. That's going to do it for episode 20, Conference Championship Game Picks. Phil, thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah. You want to come on again sometime?
Absolutely. And maybe we can agree a little bit more.
Yeah, hopefully. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the videos I put out. Turn notifications on, like this video, and I'll see you next time on The John Clamper Show.